I feel like when you're a kid, people are always telling you, just be yourself. In fact, I feel like you hear it so much that it sort of loses its meaning. And when I was a kid, I really didn't have any trouble being myself. Um, I was a really exuberant child. I talked a lot, and I was always doing a million things and going, a million miles an hour. And when I was about 8, my doctors told me and my parents that some of that was symptoms of ADD, and they put me on Ritalin. And from then on, whenever I would get too excited about life, one of my parents or one of my siblings sometimes would ask me, "Have you taken your medicine today?" What I heard was, be yourself within reason. Be yourself, but keep it down. And perhaps because of this, I spent about 10 years of my life knowing that I was queer, wanting desperately to come out and to own it, but just not being able to, just still feeling wrong somehow. And then a year ago, when I was 25, I started seminary, and we talked a lot about the need to be authentic in your relationships with yourself, with God, and with other people. And this authenticity thing was really big for me. I realized that I could only be so much in my relationships because there was this huge part of me that I was hiding from. And so I gathered up my courage, and I came out to an older friend of mine who was a mentor and considers herself an advocate. And what she said was, if you're gay, okay, but don't let yourself become the face of this issue. It's not fair to the people who love you. What I heard was, be yourself within reason. Be yourself, but keep it down. And luckily, around the same time, I sat in my tiny seminary apartment with a classmate and good friend and confessed to him all of my worst fears. I told him that I was afraid that I was mistaken, that I wasn't really gay, just confused like everybody thought. I told him that I was most afraid that we were all wrong and that it really is a sin. And he looked at me and he said, "Layton, that's called shame, and it's not yours." And I realized then that part of my journey wasn't just about learning how to be myself, how to be queer, but also how to love myself, how to have pride in who I was. And pride in the queer community gets used a lot too. Maybe so much that at least for me, it had kind of lost its meaning until that moment. But I can tell you now that I'm as queer as I've ever been, but I get prouder and prouder every day. Proud enough to not only be myself, but to love myself. Proud enough to wear the clothes that I feel comfortable in and feel beautiful in them. Proud enough not to not have fears, but proud enough to not let those fears stop me from acting. Proud enough to say, I am the face of this issue, because it's not just an issue, it's me. And proud enough to tell you, it absolutely gets better. Happy Pride.